Okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun.
Dum bum 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 bum.
What is love?
Bum.
Oh, that was a little early. So this is the Off Five. This is a podcast where we talk about The Office.
We talk about each episode of Office in the order it comes out, except for last week where we talked about Sex and the City.
Yes, and thank you for everyone who did listen to that episode. I thought it was great.
And thank you for everyone that didn't, but didn't unsubscribe.
Because of that.
Out of anger.
I mean, it's an April Fool's joke, everybody. Like, lighten up, you know?
Yeah. I got death threats. Remember, we got sent a Dundee from someone. Someone sent a Barbie doll.
With their head cut off.
And it said, world's worst podcast. And she was wearing a bad outfit.
Which is the worst because we really care about fashion here at the Off Five.
That's right. And in fact, we're going... We'll save it.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I was about to say it too. Okay. So
my name's Nathan.
I'm Addie.
My name's Nathan, though.
Okay. Well, hey, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan. My name's Addie, actually. And so we're friends that talk about The Office.
Yes, exactly.
We're all caught up, and we're going to talk about an episode.
Season 3, episode 8.
Called The Merger.
It came out
November 16th, 2006. Do you ever try to say everything someone else is saying at the same time?
At the same time. Time.
Oh, wait. So one of us has to have something to say.
Okay. Well, now we're going to talk about the Wikipedia.
So this segment's called Wikipedia is the best thing ever. And it's the summary.
Because it is.
It really is. And we're going to see, because I'm going to read a really short description, and then we're going to fill in, because I don't think this one covers it.
Okay.
This is a jam-packed 30-minute episode.
Okay.
In this episode, the two branches are merged. Jim Halpert and Pam Beasley have an awkward reunion. Michael Scott tries to make his new employees feel welcome, and a rivalry begins between Dwight Schrute and Andy Bernard.
Okay.
So that technically covers it. That's like maybe what would be on the back of the DVD or something.
Yeah, because you don't want any spoilers.
Right, but some of these moments I feel like we need to elaborate on. So let's just go through them piece by piece.
Okay.
Jim and Pam have an awkward reunion.
I would disagree with that.
Oh, okay. Why?
Well, because, I mean, I guess it is awkward to an extent, but they are really happy to see each other. And, I mean, it's been a while, so of course it's going to be kind of, weird to have Jim back, especially because last time they saw each other was when they were kissing. So maybe it is awkward.
Last time he was so much bigger because so close.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's and they do hug and
they talked.
Yeah, they talk. I don't think it was that awkward.
Well, anyway, the reason why it's awkward is because Pam is like a little puppy dog whose owner came back from the Iraq War, and she's meeting him at the airport. Whereas Jim acts more like, hey, I have a new girlfriend now, and her name's Karen.
He got a new dog while he was in Iraq.
That's right. And then like the dog's like wagging his tail, and he's like, yeah, like kind of petting, and then he's like, I think I should tell you, I got a new dog.
And then the other dog is like, well, it's fine. You can do whatever you want. I don't care. I have another owner. So
yeah, and then his new dog is like, you want to stick a gum?
True.
Yeah. Okay, and then Michael Scott tries to make his new employees feel welcome.
He did not make them feel welcome.
He gave them gift baskets. He had an integration celebration. He made a video for them, and a employee quit / was fired at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying to catch you up in case you don't remember everything that happens in this episode, because I don't feel like this description really did it. Rivalry between Dwight and Andy. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to...
Oh, Great Scott Productions and Trivia. So this one was directed by Ken Whittingham, his 4th episode. And it was written by Brent Forrester, a consulting producer.
Okay.
What is Ken.
That? Consulting producer would be like, I guess like a collab. Like Ken Whittingham, FEAT. The other guy featuring.
Oh, I can spell. Yeah, totally. So he's be like, hey, Don't do that. That looks stupid.
Yeah, or like, hey, I have a question about this. Okay, thanks. Let me give you some consultation.
You know who do great in this scene is Creed. We should have Creed in this scene. Okay, thanks, Brent.
Yeah, exactly. I hope I get credit for this.
Yeah. Could you put me down as... Well, he wrote this episode too. He's just
Okay.
normally a consulting producer.
Oh, okay.
So we've got guest stars. Recurring actor Creed Bratton is still a guest star.
Oh,
Creed.
that's sad.
Poor buddy. And then Ed Helms, that's Andy. Rashida Jones, that's
Karen.
Karen. Wayne Wilderson, Mike Bruner, and Ursula Burton.
Ursula is Hannah.
Anna. And Wayne and Mike are...
Either Martin...
Or Martin Nash or... What's his name? Anthony Gardner.
Tony. Yeah, Tony Gardner.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
Pepperoni Tony. That's how I should have remembered his name. Man. The other big thing for the production is that this was a big old 30-minute episode. Kate Flannery said in her blog, they double the size and they double the comedy.
Is it really doubled?
No, it's like 30 minutes instead of 22, like the last episode was.
Yeah, and they said that was like a breakthrough for television. So I guess they've broken on through to the other side. Now they can just do 30-minute episodes whenever they want.
Yeah, well, it's like if you have the episode and it's 22 minutes, and then if 30 minutes is such a big breakthrough, who's to stop you from just adding minutes on until
it's like
forever,
just continuous live footage from The Office.
Yeah, we made the longest episode of The Office.
It's been going on since 2006. It's still going on.
Yeah, that one episode is a full DVD set. But in addition, this episode does have a lot of deleted scenes, which I don't really want to talk about all of them, but it's just worth it because there's so many character things.
Yeah. It was definitely worth a watch if you have the DVD.
Yeah. Andy does his personality mirroring on Kevin, which is really funny. It's just a lot more getting to know, especially the new people.
Yeah, because you don't see him for very long.
Yeah, and don't get too attached, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Except for Andy. You can get attached to Andy if you can.
If you can bear it.
If you are able, yeah.
Hey, let's do second drink right now.
Okay, this second drink that I'm having is actually my first drink. It is a cup of tea from Celestial Seasonings.
That's right.
It's the peach sleepy time.
Oh, that'll be good for the energy level here. And then I'm also having tea. We're so old now.
What are you having?
I'm having a maple ginger from Celestial Seasoning. And there's whiskey in there too.
Oh, there is? Well, I mean, you know, we've come a long way. We've actually really matured since doing that episode about Sex and the City.
Now we're classy.
Yeah, and this cup I'm drinking from is actually a handmade cup from one of your friends.
Yeah, mine also handmade from probably some kid
From
in China.
Yeti. From a Yeti.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Yeti.
A Yeti made it.
Yeah.
You can see his hoof marks. That's
Hoof.
why it was so cheap. Oh, yeah, it's hoof.
Hoof marks.
And then it becomes hooves.
Exactly. Hooves marks.
Yeah. Let's do
Fina Things.
Club.
Okay, so what did you like about this episode?
One of my favorite quotes is when Andy says he's always thinking one step ahead, like a carpenter.
That builds stairs.
I love that.
Yeah, that's really good. Because they literally have to think one step ahead. Literally.
If not more.
Yeah,
Probably it should more.
Yeah, it should probably be like, they should probably have it planned out before.
Because then you're going to have like one of those crammed steps at the end. And if they're not all the same, I feel like you would totally trip on the one that was taller.
Yeah.
Or fall on it, depending on which way up down the stairs you're going.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a good idiom, but maybe not fully formed.
Yeah. He should just think one step ahead like a hiker.
Yeah, or someone who walks.
Yeah, just one of those people.
I really liked Michael's mug that says World's Best Boss. It's been around for a long time, but he mentions that maybe it should actually say World's Best Dad because they're a family.
That's right.
And they're adding new family members to their family. It's a blended family now.
Yeah. You know, they really should only make one of each of those mugs.
Yeah, because how can you have more? I have one, actually. I put my toothbrush in it.
Really?
Yeah.
What does it say?
World's Best Boss. I feel it'd be weird to drink at work because, I mean, it's kind of... I don't like the word boss. I'd rather be manager or supervisor.
Boss used to mean cool.
Yeah.
Right. And also, you're supposed to be given that by your underlings.
Yeah, instead of buying at Spencer's for yourself.
Also, don't call them underlings if you want them to buy you one of those.
Exactly. Underlings. Good morning, underlings. That's what I'll say. And then bring in my mug. No, that's, not my style. Better for a toothbrush.
That's right. I really like the other quote he says, which is, it's an orientation, not a boringtation.
A orientation.
Orientation. Yeah, and this episode came out in 2006. In 2005, when I started college, I went to the college to do an orientation before I started, and it was the University of New Mexico, and their mascot is the Lobos. So they called it the Lobo orientation. And so I was calling it the Lobo orientation like the whole time.
Lobo orientation.
So when that came out, when I saw it, I was so happy.
You're like, they stole my joke.
Yeah, but it's weird as they had to go further because for me, it was already in. Like, I just took Lobo. I just emphasized the boring instead of the low.
Yeah, why didn't they think that through?
They should have had a Lobo orientation so they could learn how to be Lobos, because by the end of the episode, none of them are really good at being a Lobo. Woof, woof. Everyone's a Lobo.
Yeah, everyone. Even Shakira.
That's the University of Mexico thing. You go, everyone's a Lobo. Woof, woof, woof. Like, see this. Because you know how coyotes say woof?
Yeah. And hoof.
Wolves. That's when you hear a lot of woofs.
I also like Michael saying, "Shut it, Dwight." Like, shut it. I feel like he does that pretty often, but it's so funny.
Yeah.
I love that.
Actually, all of mine are quotes, but my next one is from Miss Phyllis. And she says, Bob Vance bought this for me in Metropolitan Orlando. It's made from real pine. So good.
I know, it is so good.
So it smells like
You've
an air freshener.
You've got a lot to learn, honey, about this town.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Karen does learn by the end of the episode who Bob Vance is.
Karen's putting in the effort.
Yeah, she really is. Another quote. Will you let me run the company, Dwight? Will you? Will you? I don't know. Just Dwight and Michael in this episode. Dwight can feel that Michael is feeling the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he has to shine here.
I feel like he feels that his number 2 spot is in jeopardy, which is strange because he's actually already lost it.
Yeah.
He just doesn't realize it. How quickly
if he even wants it.
shifts to like fighting for 3rd place.
Yeah.
You think he'd be a lot madder about this?
Yeah, but he knows that it came from the higher up, so he has to. Well, or does he think it came from... Oh, no, he thinks it came from Jan.
It just relates to pay scale. Whose pay is higher?
It doesn't matter. They're just different.
The pay is just different, yeah. It's like a gas card. Who could put a price on that? $100. Yeah. What else you got for Finer Things Club?
I like Jim's prank. It's so subtle as far as pranks go, but the meet my eye line.
Yeah.
He's just looking above his eyes.
It's actually an old sales trick.
Really? Sales trick?
Yeah. Dwight tells Angela not to look in his eyes. Look right here. It's an old sales trick.
I don't remember that. When is that?
It's after he kills her cat.
Oh.
That's why she can't look at him anymore. No.
Oh, sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
He's in the freezer.
Yep. And I think my last one is when they're trying to push Tony Gardner on the table.
I'm under this hawk here, so I don't know what I'm grabbing.
I'm right in your crack. Oh my God.
I would quit too, honestly. Yeah. That's the worst.
I think you could file for sexual harassment pretty easily. You don't think you can have 2 grown men in your crack in the workplace?
Just one.
Yeah. 1 if it's consensual, but never 2.
Never 2.
Even if it is consensual,
never
that's
2.
not, you should do that outside of work.
I love how Tony is just like, I don't think I can do this physically. And Michael's like, oh, okay, well, just use the momentum to pull yourself up. And it's like, no. That's not what he means.
Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't know how. He gets it.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. He thought he didn't get the physics of pulling himself up. You know, I think Tony probably could have just sat on the table. I think he could have managed that.
Yeah, it was actually his fault.
Putting the chairs on the table was
That was
so
a little
dumb
much. Yeah.
on their part. I want to give Tony a compliment right now.
Okay, go ahead.
It's really cool hair.
Yeah.
Well put together. He's got like a good outfit.
Yeah. Really good fashion.
Fashion
Show at lunch.
Oh my God, it's fashion show at lunchtime.
Fashion show at lunch.
This was a segment we did for our April Fool's Sex and the City episode, but we decided to bring it forward into the new millennium with The Office.
So this is, well, I really like talking about the fashion in season 1 because I don't know if you remember Michael's hair specifically from season 1, but there are some fashion moments in this episode as well. For example, Pam's sweater.
That's right. It's a good sweater. Her mom made it.
Yeah, which is really unbelievable because it's really nice.
Yeah. She could sell those at a very fancy shop.
Yeah.
Impress a man that's much older than her and out of her league.
Did you notice any fashion?
Yeah, I did. During the cold open, which we'll get to, they're wearing different clothes. So this is only during that. But Dwight is wearing like a stone gray, maybe greenish shirt and a tie with like a black marble silver type.
Oh,
like,
the
pattern.
shiny tie.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Like you don't ever see Dwight wear. He's wearing like real adult colors, not orange or
mustard yellow.
Yeah, or green. Like he wears a lot of greens. You know, this one it might have a little bit of green in it, but it's mostly like a stone gray.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
And so it actually, like, he looks really good in it. And
yeah.
I don't think they want Dwight to look really good most of the time. So that's probably why they don't do it.
Yeah. I noticed his shiny tie for sure. It's really shiny.
And during the main episode, he's just got, like, a white shirt on with, like, beige, a lot of, you know,
yeah,
his bad colors back. But that's him.
Yeah, it is.
It's why you can dress up as Dwight. So.
Exactly.
So even though it's out of character, I liked the gray shirt, though.
Nice.
That's all I got.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, wait. Toby's wearing like a brown overcoat, wool trench coat type thing. Looks really good too.
Oh, when is that?
I think it's at the beginning before he does the run.
Oh,
or he's getting
yeah.
back from a run before actually he doesn't do a run, but it's when he's talking about his run.
Yeah.
I'd let him strangle me in that.
Yeah, I was probably running towards victims.
He finished.
Well, that brings us to the cold open, which includes running.
Crack open a cold open. This one's got like a 2-parter cold open.
It's crack open 2 cold opens.
A couple of cold opens.
Crack open a couple of cold opens.
Yeah.
So the first part is Stamford packing up.
Yeah.
And everybody's wearing the tombstone headbands that Andy made. Very tasteful. Actually,
I think only Andy is wearing one. And Jim wears it for a few seconds, but then it quickly cuts to them all being in the trash.
And they're kind of just getting ready. It's kind of sad, honestly.
What do you think those other people are thinking that aren't going to Scranton?
They're thinking, well, I hope my severage package is good, so I can take a vacation.
They're just thinking that over and over again?
I would be.
On a loop. You know, question.
Yes.
How long do you think it is between the cold open and the regular episode? Because they go from the being in Stamford, packing up, and the next one they're starting. That wasn't like overnight. And there's some evidence of that.
Different outfits.
Yeah, they changed their clothes. Now, because Karen knows of like a bar. She knows about Cooper's at the end.
Oh.
So she like, it sounds like she's been there.
I bet they're packing up on a Friday. And maybe they're starting work on Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, that's a good theory. You know, Jim and Karen, I just saying they seem like too intimate already. So that's why I was kind of wondering it as well.
Too. Yeah, I thought that too because last I heard, Karen was just like, yeah, I am interested in him. Yeah. And that's it, right? I mean,
when they're packing up and now they're married.
Yeah, now they're like deciding to like, I don't know, rub each other's backs, share gum.
Yeah. Not the same piece, but.
Yeah.
That would be really intimate.
That would be.
Hey, do you want some gum? Sure. Here. Still a lot of flavor in it. Cool.
Ew.
I'll give it back before all the flavor is gone. You don't like that?
Nah.
Okay. Okay, so then we go into the second part of the crack open, a cold open, which is Pam's prank against Dwight.
Which is a really good prank. I feel she she wasn't wholeheartedly into it, though, because she didn't see it through to the end. He was just running around the building and she just went back inside.
Yeah, he's not going to do the third lap.
Yeah, so she totally should have just... I mean, because what is he going to do? Come back inside and be like, what the heck, Pam?
Yeah.
She's like, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Bye.
I don't care. Yeah, so Toby says he finished marathon or half marathon or whatever he was racing. And, you know, Pam seems to know a lot about what Toby's doing. But Dwight's, like, belittling him. So then Pam says she's going to time him going around the building. Then she just goes inside after the first lap.
And she's just using a thermometer.
Yeah.
She's not even using a timer.
It's the one they have at Dollar Tree.
Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, I think she's really distracted, which kind of leads me to believe there wasn't too much time between cold open and real episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's probably thinking about Jim coming back.
She's probably thinking, I should keep up these pranks on Dwight. That way Jim and I can go right back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, it's a sad ending to the cold open.
Yeah.
What do you think about this cold open, though?
I love when they have, like, a different thing going on. I mean, I love a cold open, actually.
Yeah.
And I really like how they have two of them because it's kind of the last opportunity for a taste of Stamford and Scranton, you know, right together, basically. So,
yeah.
You know.
I like the Scranton one more, the racing one. But they have to have that Stamford one. That's more like a plot point to you started off. Because the punchline to that one is just that Andy's stealing
Josh's computer. Yeah.
Yeah. What? It's a good answer to that, though. I think I'm going to do that next time I get accused of something.
I mean, they just stole that punchline from Creed, though, because Creed was just trying to sell the computers. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Little overdone. They could have come up with a better punchline, I think.
Yeah, plus Josh abandoned them. And isn't all that stuff going to get liquidated?
Yeah.
You would think that they would just, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Goodbye forever, Stamford.
Bye.
It's so hard to call it Stamford instead of Stanford.
I know. Stamford. Bye, Stamford. Okay. We need to get YouTube down to film this.
Okay.
Or did you have another plan?
No, that sounds great.
Okay, so speaking of the cold open, I really like Pam's conversation with the camera. So she does seem distracted, and I think that's why, because she's just talking to the camera about, you know, I don't even plan to blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I better get back to work. She doesn't usually talk to the camera unless the documentary crew asks her a question.
And maybe they did.
Yeah, no, they didn't, because it was like continuous shot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does make my life harder, and on purpose. Is that the one?
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, like, he tried to install meters on the bathrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she is talking right to them, and that is a little bit of a rarity.
Mm-hmm.
I already mentioned, but when they have talking about Andy making those Stamford hats, and then they do the hard cut to them just in the trash, like they're just like went over and filmed the trash can to show how little people appreciate those hats.
Yeah.
So it's like really sticking it to Andy there.
Yeah. Which, yeah, good thing, because, man, he's already getting under my skin.
Yeah.
Something else I noticed, the very poignant question, where do you stand with Pam, to Jim? And you don't hear the question being asked, but you hear Jim saying, where do I stand with Pam?
Right.
And that kind of sets the tone of like, I don't know, but we're friends.
He's closed off his heart, though.
Yeah, he has, because he's opened it up to a new person.
Good for him. I'm definitely veering into all the other segments. This is the one where we talk about the documentary. Okay. So I have one more big one, which is the end of the episode. They have one camera, and it's filming Dwight and Andy arguing as they leave the office.
Oh, in the elevator?
Yeah. And the camera follows them into the elevator, and they take the elevator down. But then when they get downstairs, there's two cameras. Like there was one waiting.
Oh, interesting.
And then it starts doing the back and forth. But before that, it's just like the camera is just swinging back and forth.
Yeah, and from kind of a low angle too, like below their face, kind of pointed up. So it's really fast-paced back and forth.
So we might be like holding it lower, or might just be a
short person.
height challenged man or woman.
Maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, no, probably holding it down low. But I just think it's really cool that they like coordinated that. You know, they did that in the show too. One camera person get on with them. And I was thinking that because they'd just been showing, oh wait, or was that after? Well, anyway, they have another interchange in the parking lot. So it's like, it's a big day where they wanted to get the cameras catching before and after stuff because it's got all the characters, all the new characters. And I wonder if the camera crew from Stamford came back.
Oh, so it was like a merger with the film crew also.
Yeah, they're probably meeting each other and then someone would be like, I'm going to go film Bob Vance. He's like, who's Bob Vance? And then the guy was like, you got a lot to learn about this town, honey.
Yeah. So, Filmception. I also noticed Michael talking about Hooters, and then he turns to the camera and says, over 400 locations worldwide. Like it's a commercial or like he's being sponsored.
It's like he read about them in Small Businessman.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though I'm assuming whoever owns that is a big businessman.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well endowed. With money.
Obviously.
Probably not so much anymore because did you hear millennials are killing Hooters?
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
At least the millennials are doing something.
We're killing Hooters. When was the last time you went there?
I've never been.
That doesn't help. I've only been once. That didn't help.
Well, at least you're not a baby boomer.
Yeah, no.
Millennial.
Anything else for the YouTube segment?
Yeah, just Jim's look during the impression of Night at the Roxbury. I'm just glad to have Jim back for those meetings with Michael. Just
together,
for the looks.
Yeah.
To the camera.
Definitely.
He's back, baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what about some Kevin's Chili's where we talk about the references in this episode?
Yes. Go ahead.
Well, there's two songs. There's the Lazy Scranton, which is a parody of the Lazy Sunday SNL song by The Lonely Island.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that?
No.
What?
I mean, I knew what the Scranton Witch Project was referring to. It's the Salem Witch Project. I didn't know Lazy Scranton, though.
Wait, no, it's not Salem Witch Project. It's the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, pork knuckle. Okay, I really f***ed up Kevin's Chili's. No.
You haven't Lazy Sunday? Lazy Sunday. It's the Chronicles of Narnia. That one. Oh, okay.
Chronicles of Narnia?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
There's another episode, which I think we talked about, where Kelly is talking about how she's like referencing that song because she's telling someone, and it sounds really like they're hardcore rapping, but they're really just singing about the cupcakes in the Chronicles of Narnia.
Oh, was that before we started doing Kevin's Chili's, though?
It must have been.
I think Kevin's Chili's is a really great way for me to learn about pop culture.
Me too. If you know anything, I want to tell me.
Do you know who Suri is?
Was that Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's daughter?
That's Shiloh.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And Suri is Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes' daughter.
Oh, sounds adorable.
Yeah. And that's all I know.
Both of those couples are gone now.
Sad.
Yeah. I mean, they're still there. They're just not in the same places
not together.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're separate places.
I think Shiloh is trans also.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. That's which one?
Brad Pitt and Angelina's
daughter. Right. So it's a trans girl?
I think maybe just like non-binary.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
Good.
Shoot, I should have looked this up before.
Well, hey, I learned something. I hope it's true.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I learned something about Lonely Island and Chronicles of Narnia.
Chronicles of Narnia. What about What is Love?
The Night at the Roxbury.
Hadaway. I watched a great YouTube video. It's from a series called One Hit Wonderland, where this guy Todd in the Shadows goes through different one-hit wonders and like talks about the song.
Interesting.
And I watched the one for that. And although I don't remember any of the details,
it was a one-hit wonder.
It was really interesting. Yeah, it's like Hadaway went to Europe to do like pop dance music and
It does seem like a Euro pop club electro.
But definitely made famous by Night at the Roxbury, which was a movie.
Will Ferrell.
and Chris Kattan based on a series of sketches on SNL. Oh, another SNL reference.
Yeah, lots of SNL references.
NBC, keeping it in the family.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
And I remember one of those early sketches, they had Jim Carrey doing it too, and it was funny.
Okay, for Night of the Roxbury?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
They also reference Punked, but they do that a lot.
Punked? Oh, okay.
The Ashton Kutcher.
They referenced another thing. Hawk.
Ham hock?
Yeah. Do you know what a ham hock is?
Yeah, it's like a honey baked ham is a ham hock.
You know what another word for it is?
Butt muscle?
Pork knuckle.
Pork knuckle? No, it's not.
That's what it said.
On Wikipedia?
A ham hock or how or pork knuckle is the joint between the tibia, fibula, and the metatarsals of the foot of a pig, where the foot was attached to the hog's leg.
Oh, I thought it was like the ham, like the butt.
That's what Michael and Dwight thought too.
Yeah, because they were under this hawk here.
This doesn't sound right, because if the ham hock was that small, you wouldn't have eaten it that many times, right?
Right, and...
Give me some of that pork knuckle.
Yeah, that's not... What's your source?
This thing I wrote down on paper. I don't know.
Oh, man. We're learning a lot today.
Yeah, but we're not sure
about anything.
If any of it's true. I want to look up pork knuckle.
Sounds like something you'd say when you're mad. Pork knuckle.
Oh, pork knuckle. I'm going to say that next time I stub my toe.
Or like to censor it around kids, you would say Nork puckle.
Yeah, look, see on goodfood.com.au, there's an article called How to Cook a Pork Knuckle.
Oh, no. What is it, boiled or what?
Here's a question. Scared. Is pork knuckle the same as a ham hock? Both pork knuckles and ham hocks are from the shank part of the pig's leg, that is the section between the knee and the ankle / top of the trotter. Their feet?
What's a trotter? Oh, foot.
They trot on their... Okay.
Isn't that a hoof?
Yeah, it would behoove them to learn that word. Generally, it is known as a pork knuckle or pork hock. It is fresh and uncured. And as a ham hock, it is if it is cured. Oh.
Oh, gross.
So it's a pork knuckle or pork hock. It's a pork knuckle if it's fresh or uncured, and a ham hock if it is cured.
Cured of what?
Yeah, it's diseased if it's a pork knuckle. I'm sorry, you got an inflamed pork knuckle. We're going to have to remove it and then eat it.
I'm sorry. Was this pig an anti-vaxxer?
Yeah.
Then this is a knuckle.
My pork knuckle's hurting. Oh, we can cure that. Unfortunately, we're going to eat it afterward.
It'll turn into a ham hock.
Okay.
I'm confused about where to go from here.
That just wraps up Kevin's Chili's, I think. Pretty much.
Thanks, Kevin's Chili's. Okay.
Oh, wait, there were two cars, the Trans Am and the Xterra.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to hear more about that Xterra later.
We will, for sure. I can't wait.
X-Earth.
X-Earth.
Okay, let's get into our
characters.
Yeah, with a segment called We Gotta Make Sure the World is Crawling with Hannah's.
And Carrie Bradshaw's.
Yeah. Oh,
you're either a Hannah or a Carrie.
That's right. I'm a Carrie.
I am too.
You're either a Carrie or a Jim Halpert. I'm a Carrie still. Okay, who should we start with? Big guys, little guys?
So I noticed that we have a few different feuds going on.
Oh.
So...
feud fight.
Exactly. Andy versus Dwight, obviously. And then we have Karen versus Pam.
Subtle, because they get along so well.
Yeah, and then we also have Stanley versus Martin.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, just a few conflicts, I noticed. Not really maybe any feuds.
Yeah, kind of like, what about all of the Stamford people versus all the Scranton people?
That's probably more accurate.
Because we've got if we're getting into feuds, we've got like the Creed and Hannah.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan and Jim, which is actually not that part of that. Oh, let's talk about Ryan and Jim real quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about Ryan.
Ryan.
Even though he's never made a sale, he feels pretty entitled to Jim's desk.
Yeah, he does. But Jim's a nice guy, and that's why he got the desk.
So, question. Who do you think was in the right in that exchange?
In the right? Well, I think Jim should have got his desk back. But he did just have to move over to the next desk. So I don't think it was that big of a deal.
But he can't see Pam from that desk.
Yeah. And they're both pretty passive aggressive. Like if Ryan would have just been like, actually, I've really come to really like this desk. So do you mind if I stay?
Yeah.
And then Jim was like, actually, no, I really want my desk back. You know?
They were passive aggressiving off.
Yeah, they were like...
Because Ryan does say,
if
you really want it, you can have it back.
Jim should have been like, yeah, actually, I do.
Yeah, that was the moment. I feel like Ryan didn't have to say that. But for Jim to be like, well, it's up to you. And then hoping that Ryan...
Yeah.
That's like too passive aggressive. If someone asks you a question and you don't answer it and leave it up to them, but you really care.
And then his face, you could tell that he really cared.
Yeah.
It was like, well, that's your problem, dude, because you just said no.
You know, if the shoe had been on the other foot, probably would hurt because wrong shoe. No, I think that if Ryan had been in that position, he would have just said, I'm the number 2 at this office now. I'm going to pick my chair.
Yeah.
I need to be in a place where I can see the whole office.
Yeah.
Especially the receptionist. Got to keep an eye on her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Jim really is moving on, then that shouldn't matter.
No, I don't think that's why he wanted that desk. I just think that, or maybe it was, but it's like symbolism. It's like we were talking about how at Stamford, Jim didn't face Karen.
Oh, right.
She faced him.
It is totally a sign of the times.
Because now they're not going to get any of those shots of them like looking at each other.
Yeah, like
for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
little comment. Yeah. So we've got a lot of characters meeting for the first time, which is kind of interesting. Like Andy coming in and meeting Michael. They're really hitting it off.
Yeah. Andy's kind of like American Psycho at this point, like with his lack of his own personality.
Yeah. Name repetition, personality mirroring, and never breaking off a handshake.
And does Dwight have that same rule? Because when he meets Dwight, they shake hands for a very long time.
Yeah, I think he does. It's probably one of those rules like never smile or show your teeth because it's a sign of submission.
In the animal kingdom, they shake hands until they die.
Yeah, exactly.
Until the weaker one dies.
Yeah.
Then the stronger one goes and gets some food.
Yeah.
I'm so hungry now.
Because it's been so long that they've been shaking hands.
Just eats the one that it was shaking hands with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. So Andy, this is the start of a long Andy saga.
Such a big character.
Yeah, it really is.
To just like have him pop in and choose a desk. Karen's there too. They're all in the sales area, right?
Yeah, this is her first introduction to Michael. Michael doesn't really make a good impression.
No.
Because he says, you look really exotic. Was your dad a GI? Which, highly inappropriate.
I'm putting that in the bad category of things he says.
Yeah. And there's a lot in that category.
There's one for murderer already.
And yeah, she gives Jim gum during the meeting, which Pam sees. And I don't know, there's a few moments where you can really tell that Pam is missing Jim. And that's one of them. Well,
and when Jim shows up, Pam is just looking at him and like, oh, how are you? And we should get a coffee. We should get a drink later and catch up.
And he's just like, yeah, I'm just getting settled. And that's when Michael walks in and says, oh, sorry for interrupting. Like, of course, he's making it really awkward.
Yeah.
I think he's the one making it awkward. I think that Jim did everything he could, to say, well, are we getting into Jim and Pam?
Man, we're doing such a bad job of going through the characters.
I know.
Well, let's just go through the new characters and just say like a little bit about each one of them.
Okay.
So let's talk about Anthony Gardner.
Okay. He's kind of on the fence about this anyway. And Dwight says just from the get-go that Michael should fire him before noon.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of compares it to a Japanese internment camp.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Dwight does.
Yeah, Dwight does.
That's Anthony. That was harsh.
And says he thinks he would be good at picking the person to die.
Yeah. So Anthony, Tony, does end up quitting / getting fired. He's made really uncomfortable the whole time that he's there. But it sounds like maybe he said no to severance to go over there, even though he wasn't sure. The one thing about that was when Michael asked him, did you think Lazy Scranton was funny? And he says, no. Was it supposed to be? When you watch it again, Michael says this is going to be funny. Like, he tells them it's for humor.
Yeah. And so I don't understand how you, even if you didn't know what it was based off, how you wouldn't think that it was funny.
Yeah. Well, it's the way he says no is like he didn't even think of it. Though.
Yeah.
It'd be like, hey, did you think Planet Earth was funny? No. Was that supposed to be funny? It was good, but that's always like sincerely no.
Yeah.
So maybe he just didn't click with Michael.
He really didn't.
Bad
His
chemistry.
management style is not.
That's right.
Which is a huge blow to Michael's ego.
That was a really nice way of saying you're obnoxious.
Yeah, it really was.
So, yeah.
And I mean, if I was Tony, I probably would say, you're obnoxious, dude. I'm leaving.
Yeah. Like, sorry, I can't work here anymore. You just put your hands in my butt crack. And you're both talking about and pushing on my butt. Yeah,
in front of everyone.
Yeah, and it's been humiliating. And earlier you did Night at the Roxbury dance on me.
Oh, yeah.
Even though my facial expression clearly showed I did not want you to do that.
So for these reasons...
Is that enough reason?
Yeah. I will be leaving.
Should I keep going? Okay, what about Martin Nash?
The ex-convict.
We don't know that yet.
I know, but...
Good guy. He was talking some sports with Jim when they walked in, which made it seem like they're friends, even though we've never really seen them interact.
Yeah. That's about all we see from him. Oh, except for when he tries to give Stanley like a... What do you call it? Like a little solidarity fist bump.
Yeah.
And Stanley's not having it.
Yeah, he just rolls his eyes.
Yeah.
Martin has a lot of lines at the end too, kind of like, what is it with this guy type lines.
Oh, yeah.
Is
he always like this?
Yeah. But he just seems like a really normal guy.
He seems a little too normal for The Office.
I think that's probably true.
I think Tony was too.
And Jim is such a jock. He'll talk to Martin about sports. He'll talk to Kevin about sport. If you talk about sports, he'll be friends with anybody. Yeah,
which I feel is like what a lot of people do, or at least a lot of guys do. It's okay. You're like, oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Interesting.
I've heard that.
I've heard of sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jim is such a jock.
Yeah. If you're really into sports, it's something to talk about. It's like the weather, because it's more interesting, the weather, and it always changes. Just happened, so you can always talk about it. That's with the weather. You can always, it's like, once you know that about somebody, then you can talk to them about it.
Right.
The weather is even more universal because everyone was just outside this morning. So you can be like, oh, cold, windy, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's low-hanging fruit, but...
It's very surface level conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And Hannah apparently likes to pump milk.
I mean, I think the sound is obnoxious, and she probably shouldn't have been doing that in front of Creed, but where's she supposed to go? I guess the break room.
Yeah, I think in the
that's like
past
the
they make people go to the bathroom, and that's totally inappropriate.
Yeah.
Or
it's gross.
You're supposed to have a place to do it in the workplace.
Yeah.
But then she's so
out there.
Hannah.
She's like, she's like, what are you looking? Like, take a picture, it'll last longer. And Ryan didn't even say anything like, hey, that's inappropriate. He was just like, no outside food or drink. No, he actually just said that's distracting. And I think he was talking about the sound.
Yeah. And that's why he was looking over there.
Yeah.
Creed is a total creep in this one.
Yeah, I don't know how that just was just not brought up again.
Yeah. He just took a picture of her boob.
Yeah. Right place at the right time.
And then put it on his desktop.
And then was just kind of proud of it.
That's the weird thing about Hannah, is she's so... Wouldn't she get along with Angela? Well, I guess not. Because I'm sure Angela would have been put those things away. Put away your other or whatever.
I feel like she would get along with Meredith.
Yeah, somebody. Or I don't know if she'd get along with anybody, honestly. Because her personality is not very appealing as from what we see of it.
Yeah, she's really harsh.
And she's like not really a tattle, but like she's really upset about this, but then she doesn't do anything about it. It's weird. It's like a weird mix of like she cares a lot and she's confrontational but not proactive, stuff like that.
Her.
Yeah. It's like the worst trait you could have from each of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though she doesn't deserve to have her picture taken, but
yeah, that's true.
So she is the victim in this situation. It's just like you want to root for her a little bit more and she doesn't really give you anything to go for.
Yeah, that's true. I know. Oh, Hannah. Well,
that's the crew.
That's the new crew, the new Stamford.
Sure, we'll get to know them very well over the next 5 years.
At least a few of them.
Jan's there just to chew Michael out about firing Tony because now they have to pay him severance, which I'm glad for because he
deserves it.
Yeah.
And maybe then he won't sue.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, when Michael says major personnel crisis averted, maybe it was.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good point. Because he's probably like so happy to get the severance that he didn't bother. I mean, it seemed like he was being proactive. He was like caring about what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like using I statements.
Yeah, he totally is.
Until Michael said why. And then he just said it was because of your manager style. Well, that's because he was talking to him. He didn't blame anyone else,
Yeah, I like Tony.
He was very proactive and very and I think he should have left. I think he'll probably get a way better job.
Yeah, he will. I have high hopes for Tony Gardner.
Mm-hmm. Me too. So Dwight runs like Mose in the opening.
Oh yeah, he does.
Tom Cruise.
With his hands pointed.
Yeah, like karate.
Yeah.
Karate spears or something.
Yeah. I wonder how Toby runs. Probably really annoyingly.
Well, we'll see him in Fun Run.
Oh yeah. Can't wait for that.
He just looks like a guy running.
Yeah. He's pretty fit.
Yeah,
7-minute mile.
Wow, is that fast?
Yeah, I mean for me.
What's slow mile?
Like 15 minutes.
Okay, what about 20 minutes? Is that slow?
That would be probably what I would run.
What about 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
That's pretty slow, right?
30-minute mile. Yeah, that's slow.
Okay, good.
That's 0.5 miles per hour. That took me a little while. But yes, it is 0.5 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's slow.
That's slow, yeah. Anyway.
I might cut that out. That whole conversation.
Whoa, that's slow.
That was the big payoff.
Okay. Who else do we have?
Oh, Dwight also is older and wiser, and he knows everything about film because he's seen over 240 of them.
How many films do you think you've seen?
Over 240.
Yeah, definitely over 240.
I've seen a lot of movies. Not lately, though.
Yeah.
Kind of off movies right now.
You are? Just on TV?
Mm-hmm.
You just watched a movie last night.
Yeah, and I watched one today in theaters. But I think I might be getting over it, but I didn't watch any movies for almost a year. Or I watched very few movies for the last year.
Except for Sex and the City 2. And 50 Shades Free.
Yeah, all right. I watch a movie every day. That's fine. I watched 3 movies yesterday.
That's funny.
I might cut that out too, just because of the discrepancy.
Yeah, you're looking discredit.
This doesn't add up.
No one's gonna believe anything you say anymore.
I think I said something that would have been true 6 months ago, and I just still said it like it was true now.
So, wait, we just have Michael.
Yeah, let's just talk about the big ones.
Okay. So it's Michael's time to shine. He doesn't actually. He's feeling a lot of pressure because this is a really proud moment for him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't think this was going to happen. He thought that the Scranton branch was going to close down.
That's true.
Then he saved the day, and now he has to make everyone feel welcome, which I think he does a pretty good job of greeting everyone and having little gift bags for everyone and having a nice little spread with the smoked salmon. Although it's only for the people from Stamford,
it's
which
only
is kind of weird.
pencils in the gift bag.
Yeah.
And coupons.
Yeah. To some hot spots around
Scranton. That reminds me of another Finer Thing quote.
Okay.
When he tells Pam to set it out, like she's trying to impress a much older man who's out of her league.
And she's just like, okay.
Okay, Michael.
She's in a great mood.
Yeah.
I know. I love that too.
I love that dynamic between
Michael and Pam.
Yeah, when it's going well.
Yeah, when it's going well.
When he's not trying to kiss her outside of Diwali.
Yeah.
The other one. The good one.
Exactly. The good dynamic is good.
But Michael does a lot of bad things in this one, too. Like saying that Karen's exotic looking, saying to Kelly that she should just pretend the food is cow's meat. And then when she says, I eat beef, he says, then pretend it's poison.
And then Kevin says, it's poisoned? No, it's not beef. Just go.
That's unappetizing to hear that it was poisoned, even if it's not true.
True.
And we get a big insight into Michael's psychology when he says that this is supposed to be like a beautiful wedding, but instead it's like when his mom moved in with Jeff. And now again, it's his job to fix everything. I love those little
moments into Jeff.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Or like his childhood.
Yeah.
That was probably around the same time as, what was the show that he was on?
Fundle Bundle.
Fundle Bundle, yeah.
Or when he was in the wedding. I hate you.
Yeah.
And his pants became wet. And then also that he used to hang out with the lunch lady the most by the end of 4th grade.
Oh, yeah. So that's how he gets everyone together, is by having them hate him.
You know that made that show called Young Sheldon?
Oh, from Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, about Sheldon when he was young.
Yeah, that's
I'm guessing.
That's kind of what I wish there was a young Michael.
It would be like really bleak.
It would be.
Like they should get Ricky Gervais to make the young Michael show where it's just like unflinchingly uncomfortable.
Oh my
all
gosh.
the time.
Oh man. Poop ball. Should have known. It's been a real sport.
all
those things.
All the hints you get into his like life. It's so sad.
It's so sad.
It's like kind of amazing he turned out as good as he did.
Oh no.
You know?
And it's not even that good.
No, it's not.
But yeah, you're right. He does try.
Yeah, he tries, and he's got that like certain level of delusion that I think you need.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. If you're going to be a person like that, you need a healthy dose of it for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, Michael was the murderer anyway, despite his good efforts.
Oh, and despite his background.
Yeah. You know, if someone has a really bad background, like, and then they murder people, they're still the murderer.
Still a murderer. Yeah, it's true.
I mean, feel sympathetic, but
at some point you have to rise above that and just not murder people.
That's right. I think he shouldn't have murdered anyone in this episode.
Yeah.
No, he did a bad job making people feel comfortable despite his best efforts. I think he put in the effort, but too defensive. He had a lot of bad qualities.
Yeah. And then trying to put the Stamford people above everyone else.
Just today.
Yeah.
What about Jim, though?
Jimothy.
Well, he's evolved. He doesn't drink grape soda anymore. Just drinks bottled water, which is bad for the environment.
Yeah, he's forgot about Recyclops. Jim feels the need to tell Pam that he's seeing someone, which I don't know. Like I said before, they weren't even dating until they went to Scranton.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird timing. And I understand that, yeah, he's trying to... I mean, is he only dating Karen because he's trying to get over Pam so much?
Yeah, I think he kind of liked her a little bit, but then he was like, I better get into a relationship before I go back to Scranton to protect myself.
Yeah, which, I mean, and then of course Pam says, it's fine, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And what else is she going to say? And Jim looks hurt by that. Like he thought she was going to be like, oh, really? Bummer. I thought you'd be single.
Well, I think it's weird that she like gives him permission to do whatever he wants. And
he's like, oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, he's like, okay. Like, because like, well, if like you just have like one of your friends, someone says, oh, I started dating someone, you'd be like, yeah, you can do that. I'll allow it. Like, they'd be like, oh, I was just telling you.
Oh, I see.
Not asking for permission.
But like, Pam knew that the reason that he was saying that was because they have a history. And like, I mean, really, Jim was checking in with her to make sure that it was okay. In a way, I mean, partially. And then she just goes on to say, we're friends. We've always been friends. I mean, you know, she's like, no, I mean, we're just friends.
Yeah.
So she's like clarifying that I'm not giving you permission. Like, I'm fine though.
Yeah, but she's not fine.
No, she's not.
She is not chill in this episode. She is really hyped up for this, and she's really disappointed, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the way she's like looking up at him the whole time. And then like how hurt she looks when he's like doing stuff with Karen. And then she basically asked him out. Almost as much so as he eventually does at the end of the season.
Yeah. And he's very hyper aware of it too, it seems. Although Karen doesn't seem fazed by.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, if you don't see all of her looks, which you wouldn't, like the camera crew's capturing it, but Karen wouldn't see all of that stuff.
No.
And then she also doesn't know about their history.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're almost getting enough that you'd be like, oh man, I think this girl might have had a crush on him before he left or something, you know?
Yeah, and I feel it's kind of unfair of Jim to not tell Karen before they get there, because she moved there, I mean, pretty much with the intent of being with Jim, and now you're kind of in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to find out like secondhand, basically, or way after the fact.
And I think she agrees with you that that she feels a little betrayed by that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Here's what I wrote for Pam. She does the shopping for the party.
Yeah.
She's in a great mood. She has so much love in her eyes. Poor Pam. Those are my notes.
She has so much love in her eyes. Poor Pam.
This is what,
the poor
starts
Pam Hawk.
Because Pam was trying to get in contact with him during Diwali, and she was trying to find out whether or not he'd come back, and was kind of brushing Roy off. And this is the thing that starts the whole cascade of her now, like, opening the door back up to Roy and all this conflict. It's like they
both have to be, like, in a relationship. Maybe they just should both be single for a while.
Well, Pam is.
Yeah, but she has hopes that...
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Pam, too little, too late.
And it's been a while.
It has been a while.
I don't know how long people go in between.
I guess you're right. It has
adults,
been a while.
But it was like a whole summer and then the whole part of the season so far, too.
Yeah, that's true.
And Jim wasn't dating anyone immediately before that either.
That's true.
He was
I guess
just like
the timing,
hung up on her.
The timing always is weird because it's not in our time, you know? Like, we don't know how long, the time frame of even how long it's passed since the cold open.
Well, in that case, yes. But I think that if we were watching it, it would be pretty much real time.
It would feel like
we would have had a summer without watching them as part of that.
I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we have Netflix.
Yeah. Back then we had to use NBC.com. It's tiny little player window.
Yeah, or catch it live on television.
Yeah. Put the old bunny ears up.
Yep.
Did you ever do that? Watch free-to-air TV?
No.
Oh. I used to do that a lot in college. I would got the cable digital converter box once they switched it over.
I never had a TV all through college.
I had a really old TV with an actual dial on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It had different ones to go to UHF or VHF.
Oh my gosh.
Before that, I had a black and white TV that was like 5 inches. The ones they sold them at Walgreens or Radio Shack or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would watch cable on it because the dorms had cable, but that was the only TV I had.
Yeah, and now look where we are.
Yeah. That's so funny that when people talk about like the old days, and it's like, I lived that. I had the dial. I had the black and white TV.
Get off my back.
Yeah.
I am a baby boomer, okay? I drink tea.
Yeah. I'm mad that millennials are killing Hooters.
Yeah.
I read
and everything else.
Why are they killing the diamond industry?
Why are they killing the toilet paper industry?
Are they?
Yeah, they just don't wipe their butt as much.
Oh, they use wet wipes. They flush them and make a mountain of poop.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's do our Dundies and reviews, unless you got anything else.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Dundies first. Who went first last time?
I can't remember because it was Sex in the City.
Oh, right.
This is a hard one.
Okay. I'll go. I'm going to give mine again, I believe, to Karen, because I think she took a big leap and she put in the extra effort, in particular, to get to fit in. She's trying so hard that she learned who Bob Vance is and calibrated her nose to Phyllis's stinky perfumes.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
And I just think she's doing a good job on that front. So the Dundee for giving it that old college try goes to Karen Filippelli.
Oh,
Karen Filippelli.
I'm gonna give my Dundee to the one, the only Tony Gardner.
Okay.
And it's the #MeToo Dundee.
Oh man, yeah.
So it's just a shout out of like, hey, sorry that happened to you. Michael's kind of a tool.
Yeah.
So
Murderer.
yeah. But on to bigger and better things.
Onward and upward.
Exactly.
Okay. And now we're going to count down and do our rating together on our scale of 7 and see what it's going to be.
Wait, 7 is...
Absolutely, I do.
6 is...
Pretzel Day.
Beach Day.
Fredo's Pizza Cafe. A Little Stitious.
A Little Stitious, yeah.
Garbage.
The Cat. And...
No. Or what was it? This Just Stinks.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Got it. 3, 2, 1.
Beach Day.
Yes.
Nice. I knew it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Beach Day, because this is an episode where it feels like we're on the edge of something new.
Mm-hmm.
Because we are.
Yeah.
And it's 30 minutes long. There's a lot going on. And yeah. Beach Day.
I think a really funny episode, but not as iconic.
Yeah, it's kind of under the radar.
But I recommend checking out those deleted scenes because you get a lot more of all the characters. Kind of like the last time. This one is like the meeting of the two branches. There's just a lot more interactions going on with them all talking to each other and stuff. So I do really like those. None of them are like really important, but I like Angela telling Jim he needs to cut his hair because it's flipping out on the sides. I thought it was really funny. Yeah. Okay, good. Well, and last thing, we got a review to read in our segment. I think I hold up very well to scrutiny. Feeling held up very well to even
harsh scrutiny.
Severe
scrutiny.
Okay. And this one comes from Jedkins. Jeddkins. It's called Absolutely I Do Love This Podcast. It says, I listened to all the content in 1 week, so that should be self-explanatory.
Oh man, that's a lot of content in 1 week.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times we contradicted ourselves.
Oh, he'd probably know, right?
Yeah.
The hosts are so funny, inviting, and bring so many good points. It's the best to listen to during my commute and at work all day long, to be honest. TBH. Keep it up, y'all. I absolutely love it.
Yay, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, absolutely. I do love this podcast.
Thanks, Jedkins.
That was really nice.
Yeah, he probably noticed a lot of our ups and downs and our
things. If you would listen to all the content in 1 week.
I feel bad for his commute now because our content does not get churned out quite that often.
Yeah.
But
we're at like a week and a half, every week and a half or so.
Yeah, probably like 2 every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, that's about right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hope you stick with us even though we're a little bit slower than that.
I mean, you know what? It takes time for good things.
Mm-hmm.
So
we got to be in a good space to record.
Yeah.
And we got to watch the episodes. That takes time.
It takes about sometimes even up to 30 minutes. So
plus we have to have hours of conversation before and after. Well, especially before the podcast.
Yeah, and we have to write down notes that make no sense.
Yep.
And
interpret them later.
Yeah, interpret it later.
Use the seer stone to look in a hat. And
sometimes we even have to smoke weed about it.
Do we?
Unless you are against weed smoking, then we don't.
And we never do.
We are Angel
just
podcast.
Cannabis indica sativa.
That's Northern Light sativa.
That's right. Okay, well, thanks for that review, Jedkins. Remember, if you leave us a review on iTunes or somewhere else and we find it,
yeah,
I don't know where it will be, but that we'll read that for this segment. And you can always send us an email at the off5podcast@gmail.com.
Follow us on Instagram, even though that content gets churned out even slower than our episodes. But I mean, you know,
we'll work on it.
Yeah.
We'll get better. And the Finer Things Club on Facebook is where people that listen to the podcast will share things every once in a while and chat. It was fun hearing what they had to say toward the end of April 1st after our Sex and the City episode dropped.
Yeah, one person didn't even had never even seen Sex and the City, and they listened to the whole episode.
And someone else didn't.
Someone else listened to 5 minutes. That's
so on average.
Yep.
About half of the way. But anyway, yeah. So join us there, and don't forget Dunder Mifflin Con's coming up. We're not technically affiliated with them, but we always like to remind people to check it out.
And we might go to Scranton
in
2020. So.
We'll probably go. So
yeah.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Dun 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 dun.
What is love?
Dun dun dun.
Okay, I still don't think I came in at the right time.
All right. Yeah.
Beach day. Beach day, baby. My really annoying ex has a podcast, like he did in 2017, and someone left a really mean review that was like, your voice is really whiny, which it is. Uh-huh. And then like he created an account on iTunes that said, and it was like a fake review, like, wow, this is the greatest podcast I've ever listened to. Like, well, and I knew it was him because like he used like the same name.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was just cracking up on the inside when I was looking at ours. Because I was like, we didn't make these up. These aren't fake. Unless you are. I don't know. I
couldn't. Yeah, it's really hard to think of them all.
The cat's name is Addie. That was really detailed, man.
Yeah.
You're really getting into it.